Waves of citizens are coming to polling booths across Australia for the 2019 federal election. The result of the election will see members of the 46th iteration of the Australian Parliament. Just under 1 million voters are going to participate in their first federal election, finally getting their chance to positively shape the future. However, the general consensus amongst young Australians is that we no longer trust the members of Parliament to positively govern Australia. We caught up with some students from Western Sydney University to gather their thoughts on the state of Australian politics and the upcoming election. Students who are both interested and disinterested in the upcoming election attempted to stay away from political news due to its various biases. Even students who had no interest in following the election, despite their efforts to avoid all traditional news media platforms, had their social media feeds bombarded with news regarding the election.
I have not been following the election at all, really. Just whatever pops up on my Twitter feed. So, not really much, just whatever bad things happen end up on my Twitter feed.
Young voters say the past election outcomes have resulted in broken promises by the major parties. The ongoing election has portrayed no indication of change in how Australian politics operates. This election has once again seen the major parties running campaigns focused around slandering the opposing party rather than working towards fulfilling current policies. Students have begun to question whether the members of Parliament have Australia's best interests at heart.
Yeah, I definitely think that a lot of them are more about big donations from like coal companies and the mining industry, and don't really actually care about like Australian politics. They're just like trying to make money off basically everybody.
These young voters say that the constant conflict between Labor and the Coalition is not helping to promote trust for either group or the government.
So I definitely think that like if you look at us now and them getting rid of all of the carbon emissions, setting us back, as well as basically promising jobs and employment, that like nothing's really changed or been fixed.
Some students also believe that the lack of interest in politics is linked to the age disparity between themselves and politicians.
There's not enough youth in the Australian government at the moment. Even if it's not as young as me, but somebody like in their, even if it's their 30s, that's still better than people in their like 50s. Like old men is what I think of when I think of the government. There's not enough women representation, and maybe if there's like some younger politician as well, that'd be more interesting to watch.
According to the Australian Electoral Commission, a record number of 88.8% of young Australians between 18 to 24 are expected to vote in this election. Just the week prior to the close of rolls had an estimated 70,000 young Australians added to the electoral roll, all who are paving a way for a brighter future. I'm Darren Maldridge for Western Sydney News.